She called the police 13 times, 13 separate reports, 13 moments of fear, desperation, and hope that someone would finally step in and protect her. Each time, she was dismissed. Each time, she was told to wait and see. And then she was gone. This is not just the story of Tiana Russell's murder. It's the story of a woman who did everything right, yet was failed by the very system meant to protect her. A system that too often remains silent when women, especially Black women, cry out for help. Tiana Russell was 27 years old, a mother, a healthcare worker, and a woman known for her quiet strength. She lived in Jacksonville, Florida, raising her 6-year-old daughter, Ava, on her own. She worked long hours at a local nursing home. She was dependable, warm, and focused on building a better life for her little girl. Friends described her as smart and private, someone who carried her burdens quietly, but loved her child fiercely. What many didn't know was that Tiana was being stalked, harassed, and threatened by someone she once loved. Marcus Green was her ex-boyfriend. Their relationship had ended months before, but Marcus wouldn't let go. After the breakup, he began calling obsessively. Then he started showing up, outside her home, her workplace, and even her daughter's school. Tiana followed the advice most victims are given. She called the police. In July of 2022, she filed her first report. But that was just the beginning. Over the next 5 months, Tiana would reach out to law enforcement 13 times. Each report documented some form of abuse or threatening behavior. She saved voicemails. She showed text messages. She shared surveillance footage of Marcus pacing outside her apartment at night. In one incident, she even reported a break-in, yet Marcus was never arrested. Each time she reported him, she was told there wasn't enough evidence for charges. Officers advised her to change her routines, to stay somewhere else for a while, or to avoid confrontation. As if her safety was her burden to carry alone. She applied for a restraining order. It was delayed due to lack of urgency. Her story isn't unique, but it is unacceptable. Black women in the United States face disproportionately high rates of intimate partner violence. According to the CDC, they are nearly 3 times more likely to be murdered by a partner than white women. Yet their reports are often minimized, overlooked, or entirely ignored. Tiana's case is one of many, but it's also one that could have been prevented. On December 3, 2022, Tiana never arrived to pick up her daughter from school. Her phone went unanswered. Her car was found later that evening, abandoned on the side of a rural highway. Her purse was inside. Her phone was locked in the glove compartment. A week later, searchers made a grim discovery. Her body was buried in a wooded area nearly 40 miles outside the city. She had been strangled. The man she had reported 13 times, Marcus Green, was arrested days later. He was found hiding out in Georgia under a false name. Authorities charged him with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and violation of a protective order that had finally been approved, just days after her death. At a press conference, law enforcement praised the swift action of the investigation. But the community didn't feel safe. They felt betrayed. Tiana had sounded every alarm. She had followed every protocol. She didn't stay silent. She didn't hide her fear. She trusted the system to protect her. And the system failed her. Public outrage followed. Community leaders organized protests outside the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. The hashtag Justice for Tiana flooded social media. Advocates demanded an internal review of how domestic violence cases are handled, particularly when they involve repeat calls for help. At her vigil, Tiana's mother addressed the crowd. "My daughter did everything she was supposed to. She reached out. She gave them evidence. She asked for help. And they still let this happen." Her words echoed what so many families of victims have said before. Tiana Russell's life mattered. Her warnings should have mattered. And her death should never have happened. Her story is a tragic example of how institutions often fail those who need them most. And unless that changes, this story will repeat itself again and again. We must ask the hard questions. Why wasn't Marcus arrested after the first few reports? Why did it take 13 cries for help for anyone to take her seriously? And how many more women must die before early intervention becomes the norm, not the exception? Tiana's story isn't just a cautionary tale. It's a call to action. To police departments across the country, take domestic violence seriously. To lawmakers, strengthen protections and response systems for victims. To all of us, believe women, amplify their voices, demand better, because silence isn't neutral. It's deadly. If you believe her story deserves to be heard, share this video. Speak her name, demand change, and honor Tiana Russell not only in memory but in action.